Hey guys, how are you today? Oh man, this is an awesome summer, isn't it? We're learning so much, we're retaining. So many times it's been said that students will lose what they've gained during the school year over the summer. But not you. You're maintaining by continuing to practice and refreshing your memory so you can retain what you've learned over the summer and be ready and geared up and prepared for September. Some of you will start school in August. I believe my grandkids start school in August. Well, guess what? You're going to be ready. All right, so keep those math nerves and that math blood flowing, and let's go. Let's tackle the homework assignment that was assigned for you to complete the last time we were together. So if you didn't get a chance to do the homework, I want you to pause your video right now. Go into an area in your notebook and start solving for the unknown, because you're going to need that practice as we move on. Today we're going to work on percents, fractions, and decimals, and how to write them and how they're related to money and to food and all that good stuff and to real life. So pause for a second or pause for a few minutes and get these problems done, because we're getting ready to review the answers. I hope you got them right. Let's go. Number 1 says 35 is the 7 as x is the 21. We're solving for the variable. Remember, the variable is the letter that we're dealing with. Okay, in this case, we're dealing with the letter X. So let's solve for it. I'm seeing 2 ways right away. The way I can solve for number 1. I can multiply by 3, and find out what X is equal to. Multiplying by 3 will give me the 21 in my denominator, but I've got to do the same thing to my numerator, and I'll be able to get the answer. All right? So let's do it just like that, because we need several strategies. Multiply by 3, multiply by 3. Here will give me that 21. 35 times 3. So let's use the distributive property, because I want to keep you refreshed on that idea. I need 35 times 3, so 3 will be my multiplier, times 30 plus 5. And you can multiply using the distributive property without mistake. I'm telling you. 3 times 30 is 90 plus 3 times 5 is 15. So the answer here is 90 plus 15, x is equal to 105. So 35 is the 7 as 105 is the 21. Darken that up a little bit. Okay? The answer is x equals 105. 2. I hope you got that as your answer. 12 is the 4 as x is the 28. Right away. Now, I'm going to do this one differently. I want to now reduce my 12 over 4. If I reduce that fraction, it'll make it easier to deal with. Or I can get a common denominator. I can multiply the denominator and the numerator by 7. That'll get me there. That'll get me to that 28 and take me to what I need for my numerator. But let's do this one. Let's reduce 12 over 4. And 12 over 4 is actually equal to 3 over 1. Now we want to bring down x over 28. and I get 1x is equal to 28 times 3. Once again, I want to use the distributive property because I want you to become so familiar with the distributive property until you're going to be already set. So now we need 3 times 28 is equal to x. So x is equal to 3 times 28, 3 times 20 plus 8. 3 times 20 is 60 plus 3 times 8 is 24. So the answer here is x is equal to 84. Did you get 84 as your answer? I hope so. Okay, we can cross multiply and find out and check it. 12 times 28 times, and does that equal 84 times 4? Number 3. Number 3, and boy, we are crowded here. I'm going to erase some of this because it should already be in your notes. If not, you can always reverse or rewind and grab it. So let me erase some of this so I can have some room and it's not too crowded. Okay, so now we have some number is the 57 as 38 is the 19. I like this because I know that 19 times 2 is 38. So what I can do, I can divide 19 in my numerator and my denominator in this fraction, in this ratio. Divide out 19. And I get 19 divided by 19 is 1. And 38 divided by 19 is 2. So now I have some number is the 57 as 2 is the 1. So now all I've got to do now is cross multiply and find out what my answer will be. And in that cross multiplication, if you would allow me to raise it up a little bit so that it can be nice and clear, I have x is the 57 as 2 is the 1. Cross multiply, and I know my answer right away. X times 1 is x is equal to 57 times 2. 57 times 2, and once again, I'm going to plug in that distributive property because I want you to understand it. I'm telling you. 2 is the multiplier times 50 plus 7. 2 times 50 is 100. 2 times 7 is 14. So we have here x is equal to 114. Did you get that for number 3? If you did, you're on the ball. Okay? Let's look at number 4. 190 is the sum number, as 114 is the 3. This is so cute. Do you know numbers that divide 3 evenly? You add up the digits, and if 3 divides into the sum of the digits, it divides. 3 goes into that number evenly. When I add up, I get 1, 2, plus 4 is 6. 3 goes into 6, therefore 3 goes into 114. So let's divide 3. To reduce first, divide 3, the numerator and the denominator. 3 divides 3, 1 in my denominator. 114 divided by 3. Let's do that in a sidebar. 114 divided by 3. 3 goes into 11 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Come down with 24. 3 goes into 24 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24. Subtracted, no remainder. So the answer is 38. Now, we're not done. We just simplified this ratio to 38 over 1. making it a lot easier, I believe. Making it a lot easier. So let me now bring us over here so that we can have more room. So I'm going to rewrite 190 is the sum number as 38 is to 1. Now we can cross multiply. We get 190 times 1 is 190 is equal to 38x. Divide out 38 on both sides. 38's cancel and x is equal to, here's our answer, 190 divided by 38. See if you can figure that out. I'll give us more room. 190 divided by 38. This is going to be like a guess and check, I would think. Let's do it down here. 190 divided by 38. If I round 38 off into 40, going into going into 200, 40 goes into 200 5 times. So I'm going to say, let's try 5. 38 times 5. See where that gets us. Get to the 40. 15 plus 4 is 19. Bingo. So it's like a guess and check. Yep. Yep. So it goes in 5 times. 5 times 38 is 190. Okay. So the 5. So 190 is the 5 as 114 is the 3. We go back to our original problem. 190 is the 5 as 114 is the 3. That's how it goes. All right? Then you can cross multiply to make sure that you get the same product. Then you've got a proportion, ratio and proportion. Okay? So that's how we would work out number 4. Number 5, now remember this was your homework, so you would have already have done it, or you would have paused it so that you could work them out before we get started. Here in number 5, oh, I just love seeing this. Man, I'm going to reduce that so quickly. That 55 over 11, I know that 11 divides 11, and I know 55 divides 11. So I'm going to divide the 11 in the numerator and the denominator here and reduce this ratio into 5 to 1. That's a 5 to 1 ratio. And now I can look at 5 to 1 with 20 to x. So, and I will cross multiply as soon as I find some room. I tell you, I love this stuff. Math is so much fun, especially when you're getting the right answers. So we have 20 is the sum number x is equal to 5 to 1. Once we use the simplified ratio, then we go back to the original. But we're just using this to make things a little bit more simpler. Cross multiply here, and I can see the answer right now. I get 5x is equal to 20. Do you see the answer? X is equal to 4. So we can come back to the original problem. say 20 is to 4 as 55 is to 11. That's pretty good. That's pretty nice stuff. All right. So let's look at number 6. 32 is to 8 as 40 is to x. Oh boy. First thing I see here is I can reduce my 32 and my 8. I definitely see a common factor that I can factor out of there. Move that over. 32 and 8, I can divide 8 on both sides. Eight divides 8, and I'll put that, I guess I can put it over here. 8 divides 8, 1. 32 divides 8, 4. Does that equal 40 over x? Or we need to make it equivalent to 40 over x. Oh, I can see the answer right now. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. 4x is equal to 40. Divide 4 on both sides. 4's cancel and x is equal to 10. So what are we saying? We are saying that 32 is to 8 as 40 is to 10. Okay. 10. Let me just rewrite that over here so you'll know what we're talking about. 32 is to 8 as 40 is to 10. Okay? By plugging in the value of 10 for the x. All right? So now that will work. All right? Number 7. We were talking about quarts, I believe. Quarts of milk. 3 quarts of milk cost $6.75. 7 quarts of milk will cost how much? We're getting ready to figure it out. So quarts to cost. So 3 quarts cost $6.79. How much would 7 quarts cost? Quarts to cost equals quarts to cost, which equals quarts to cost. Don't mix it up. Keep it together. All right. So we can cross multiply to figure out the answer. Here we get 3x is equal to 7 times 679. 7 times 679. Let's work that out. 6.79 times 7. What we need to do is ignore the decimal point right now and go ahead and multiply as if the decimal point didn't exist. And then come back and move our decimal in our answer, the same number of places it's in our problem. So 7 times 9 is 63. Put down the 3, carry the 6. 7 times 7 is 49 plus 6 is 54. 49 plus 6 is 55. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Okay. 7 times 7 is 49. 49 plus 6 is 55. Yep, put down the 5, carry the 5. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 5 is 47. Now I need to move my decimal 2 places, because it's 2 places in our problem. Move my decimal 2 places in our answer. Does this make sense? All right, awesome. See if you can get that same answer when you work it out. $6.79 times 7. Go ahead and work it out. I want you to get your answer for that one. All right. Did you get that same answer? If you did, awesome job. Okay. Let us now go over and we can now put in that 47.53. And now we need to divide both sides by 3. My 3's here will cancel. I come down with 1x is equal to $47.33 divided by 3. Let's see what we get. Okay, put our decimal in our answer. That's the first step. The second step is to just go ahead now and divide as if the decimal didn't exist because we've moved it up. 3 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. Come down with 17. 3 goes into 17 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract, bring down the 5. 3 goes into 25. 8 times 3 is 24. Bring down 13. 3 goes into 13 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12. We can attach a 0 here. We'll bring down the 0 eventually. So now we get 10. 3 goes into 10 9 times. We can stop. Because we're dealing with money. So, students, we need to round off. Because our money only goes 2 decimal places. So, we need to round off. That 9 tells us to round up or down. Which one? Tells us to round up. So, this 4 will increase by 1, giving us the amount of $15.85. Okay, so let's go back up to the problem and see. If 3 quarts of milk cost $6.79, 7 quarts of milk will cost $15.85. So be ready. If you're picking up 7 gallons of milk, 7 quarts of milk, then you better have $15.85 in your possession so you can pay for it. Because we just don't pick up stuff and take it out of the store. We pay for our food. We pay for the things that we get. All right? So mathematics helps us to be ready. And don't leave your money in the car trying to send somebody back for the car to get it. No, have it on you. You can even calculate at home to prepare yourself. Make sure you have it all together. So, number 8. So we've dealt with 3 quarts of milk for $6.75. 7 quarts of milk will cost $15.85. Let's look at this last one for the homework review. And we will look at pizza. Some of our favorite food that we eat during games and during celebrations and all that. When you go to the skating rink, first thing you want to do is order pizza. As a matter of fact, somebody I know had pizza last night, and it wasn't me. But I know because they brought me a slice, and I'm saying, nope, 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 not yet. but I will definitely have it after the session. So let's go. 10-ounce pizza uses 8 ounces of cheese. That's a lot of cheese, I think. Okay, but at any rate, we're doing this for the problem. So if we do ounces, or let's say weight to cheese. So 10-ounce pizza uses 8 ounces of cheese. We want to know a 36-ounce pizza uses how much cheese? How much cheese does a 36-ounce pizza require? Cross multiply and find out. We get 10x is equal to, once again, 8 times 36, distributive property. 8 times 30 plus 6. 8 times 30 is 8 times 3 is 24, and attach a 0. Plus 8 times 6 is 48. Add the two together, and we get 288. Yep, 288 is equal to 10x. We're not done at this point. We need to divide both sides by 10. And of course, there's a shortcut here, but we're going to do it. 288. I know what it is right now. Okay, but let's do it. 288 divided by 10. 10 goes into 28. 2 times 20. 2 times 10 is 20. Come down with 8. 88. 10 goes into 88. 8 times. 8 times 10 is 80. We're going to need a decimal and a 0. So we come down with 8. Bring down that 0. 10 goes into 80. 8 times. 8 times 10 is 8. And we don't have to crush this up anymore. We can move it down. And we come up with 28.8. So that's how much cheese we're going to need. 28.8 ounces of cheese is what we will need for 36 pizzas. America's pastime food. Make sense? If you are having any questions, please feel free to text us, contact us by any means necessary so that we can prepare a lesson strictly for you. All right? It is our pleasure to create lessons to make you and you and you the smartest one in your class. All right, so from here, we're going to deal with percents, fractions, and decimals. We've completed the homework, and we're going to move right into our lesson for today. Now, we don't always get homework, but I felt like we needed it to review a lot of concepts that we had taught previously. So let us go on to write our decimals, fractions, and percents. What is a percent? What is a percent? Percent is, and I know you recognize this word, cent. You can look at it as per penny. Remember pennies? A lot of times people throw them out. They don't even pick them up anymore. They have little or no value. But remember, 100 pennies will give you a whole dollar. Okay? 100 pennies equals a whole dollar. Okay? And percents have a lot to do with money. Okay? Per penny. All right, let's look at a few examples. If I want to write 7% as a decimal, I want it to look just like money. It's going to look just like 7 cents or 7 pennies. Just simple as that. Drop that percent symbol and turn it into a decimal. It looks just like money. All right, 33%. Looks just like 33 cents. So simple. Beautiful. 50%. Looks just like 50 cents. Make sense? So beautiful. 299%. How many pennies is 299 pennies? It's actually equal to $2.99. So it still looks like money. Okay? When you're turning a percent into a decimal, think money. And you'll be okay. All right? Let's look at writing percents as a fraction. Okay? So percents as a decimal is what we just did. Writing percents as a decimal. Now we want to write the percent as a fraction, representing percents as a fraction. The only thing about that is that you have to reduce it after you do it. Write the percent as a fraction. So 36% is the same as 36 out of 100. 36 out of 100. Now all you have to do is reduce it, and you will have your percent as a fraction. So we will reduce it, let's see. I see a 4 here, I see a 4 here. So let's divide both sides, or numerator and denominator, by 4. See what we get. 36 divided by 4 is 9. 100 divided by 4 is 25. Here it is. 36%, written as a fraction, is 9 out of 25. Okay, so here's what we have, 9 out of 25. Now, let's look at, we looked at 36%. I want to write 55% as a fraction. 55% as a fraction is equal to 55 out of 100. And now we need to reduce. Simplify 55 out of 100. We've looked at so many fractions. I'm going to give you a moment to simplify that right now. Okay, you should be there by now because you should see that there is a common 5 if nothing else. Common 5 too. You can divide out the 5 in the numerator and divide out the 5 in the denominator. 55 divided by 5, everybody and their brother and sister knows that it's 11. 100 divided by 5, and you should know that also is 20. Our answer is 11 over 20. 55% is actually 11 over 20 as a fraction. Any questions? We're going to write now 4% as a fraction. 4% is equal to 4 out of 100. Now we have to reduce it. 4 out of 100. I see a 4 that I can divide. The 4 I can divide. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 100 divided by 4 is 25. The fraction of 4% is 1 out of 25, or 1 over 25. Okay, so let's continue our skills. We are increasing our skills. 2% written as a fraction. 2% written as a fraction. I think I can fit that here. 2% is equal to 2 out of 100, which is equal to divide 2 in the numerator and the denominator, which is 1 out of 50. So 2% is 1 out of 50, or 1 over 50, written as a fraction. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. You can almost take a picture of it. Percent deals with pennies. It deals with money. There are 100 pennies in a dollar. That's why it's out of 100. Per penny out of 100. 7% looks like 7 cents as a decimal. 33% looks like 33 cents as a decimal. 50% looks like 50 cents as a decimal. Writing percents as fractions, just put that number over 100 and reduce. 36% looks like 36 over 100, reduces to 9 over 25. After you divide a 4 in your numerator and your denominator. 55% looks like 55 over 100. Divide out the common factor of 5 in the numerator and denominator. 55% looks like 11 over 20 as a fraction. 4% looks like 4 out of 100 and reduce that by dividing. It looks like 1 out of 25. 2% looks like 2 out of 100 reduces to 1 out of 50. Percents, fractions, decimals. Percents, fractions, reducing it, and decimals. How do they all relate? They relate when you're dealing with money. Let's mix up some examples here. Okay, writing is where we are today. We're writing percents, fractions, and decimals that are equivalent. I'm loving this. We're laying foundations. We are laying foundations. Let's write each percent as a fraction in simplest form. Number 1. Uh-oh. My marker. 70%. We're going to write the percent as a fraction. So let me do it this way. Probably need to chart it. So 70%, we'll have here fractions, decimals. Fractions and decimals and percents. Okay? All right, I think this will work. 88%, you need to write it as a fraction and as a decimal. Here I'm going to put 18 over 25 as the fraction. And here I'm going to put, you're going to fill in the rest of the chart. Here I'm going to put 61 hundredths. Okay? So you're going to fill in, I'm going to lower this a little bit. .61 or 61 cents here. I want you to fill in the rest of this chart. And then we'll come back and review it. Because I'm loving this. I'm loving that you are and can flow from one to the other. Flowing is important when you're dealing with percents, fractions, and decimals. It's so important to be able to flow and get it together. I'm going to be back in 2 minutes. I want you to do your best. I'll see you in 2. Alrighty, I'm hoping you've done an awesome job. Okay, let's write 70% as a fraction. You know that it's going to be 70 out of 100, and we need to reduce that. And I can see right now, if I divide 10 in the numerator and denominator, I will get 7 out of 10. And if I write 70% as a decimal, it's going to look just like 70 cents. Oh, this is just beautiful. This is just beautiful. I tell you, man, sometimes I think mathematics is related to God. He certainly used math. There's a chapter in the Bible that says numbers. I declare, math is an awesome unit of knowledge. Let's look at 88%, written as a fraction. It's going to be simply 88 out of 100, and we need to reduce that in its simplest form. So, ooh, this is beautiful. I definitely see a 4 here and a 4 here. Can we get a little closer than that? Let's divide 4 into 88. And I'm going to get 22 over, now I divide 4 here, so we're dividing 4 in the numerator, divide 4 in the denominator over 25. Beautiful. And if I write 88% as a decimal, it's going to look just like 88 cents. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. All right, now we're starting here with the fractional piece. 18 out of 25. Whoa. I need to write that as a percent, and I need to write it as a decimal. How am I going to do it? Well, we looked at writing the amount over 100, and we were able to filter it and go to our various other categories. So why not write this in 100 form or out of 100? So I need to multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. That will give me my value out of 100. So I get 18 times 4 will give me what I'm dealing with. So once again, distributive property, 18 times 4. 4 times 18 is 10 plus 8. 4 times 10 is 40. Plus 4 times 8 is 32. So the answer is 72. 72. So 18 over 25 is actually equal to 72 out of 100, which is equal to 72%, which equals 72 cents. Is that not beautiful? Isn't that awesome? That's just plain old pretty. Let's look at the 61 cents as a decimal. If we write it as a fraction, it's going to be 61 over 100. Can we reduce that? I don't see any common factors that we can divide out of 61 and 100. Do you? I don't. And what percentage would that be? That will be 61%. Now, if I'm wrong, please somebody correct me, but I don't see a common factor between 61 and 100. No, don't see it. Any questions? This is a beautiful chart, flowing from one to the other. Okay. All right, I'm going to create another chart because I want that flow. You need to be able to flow from one category to the other. So let's flow fractions, decimals, and percents. Let's go. Okay, let's go with our flow. Going with the flow. All right, we're going to look at these percents now. I'm going to look at 15%. 15%. I'm going to look at 82%. And I'm going to look at 12%. Okay, with the fractions, we're going to, and we have a few spaces in here for fractions. We're going to look at 19 out of 20. And I'm going to look at 1 out of 4. And I'm going to look at 7 out of 25. And with the decimals, I hope I have a space. I got a space right in here. Got a space for up here. Let's look at 8%. 8. Oh, I don't want to give answers. So let's look at, for decimals, 22 cents, 44 cents. Oh, do I have another space? 44 cents. Okay, that's good. All right, now, if you've got the decimal, that means you've got to find the percent in the fraction. If you've got the percent, that means you've got to find the fraction and the decimal. If you got the fraction, that means you got to find the percent and the decimal. Okay? Make sense? All right, I'm going to try and chart them, try and line them up so that it'll make sense. Okay, you get started. We want to be able to flow. All right, here we go. Okay, let's get started. Go for it. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Let's go. Sorry, I missed your call. I'm hoping he said they're not aware, but we'll see. Yep, so there we go. And I'm hoping he'll go. If he doesn't, then I'll find somebody who will. I'm telling you, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that's, I'm sure she will enjoy it too. Yeah. Yeah, either one, that's right. Yeah. Ooh, now if you got a third one, that would be awesome. I would get Nadine to go to that. Yeah. You know that's right. Yep. Right. Absolutely. Yep, because I got 2 people standing on the sidelines. Yep. So that is. Absolutely. Yeah. Say no hard feelings, man. But I'm in the middle of broadcasting, my math. So I will see you later. All right, God bless. All right, thanks. Bye-bye. I hope you're working. I hope you are working. Let us get started because time is moving. Time is money, y'all. Okay, we want to be able to flow. Our first one is 22 cents. It's easy to go from 22 cents to the percent because all you got to do is know that 22 cents look just like 22%. 22%, it looks just like the money. 22 cents looks just like 22%. And if we look at the fraction, all we've got to do is put that 22 out of 100 and reduce. I see a common 2 here and a common 2 there. It's 11 out of 50. That's what the fraction looks like. Make sense? I hope that's what you got. So we can have the same thing. We can be on the same plane, the same level of understanding here. So 15%, I'm going to jump right over to the decimal because I know that looks like 15 cents. That's an easy fix. And then 15 out of 100 and reduce. I see a common 5 here, common 5 here. I can see the answer. Divide out 15 divided by 5 is 3. 100 divided by 5 is 20. So 3 out of 20 written as a decimal would be 15 cents or 0.15. Okay? And that would also be 15%. 3 out of 20 is equal to 15%. Make sense? I hope so. I hope so. Now let's look at 19 out of 20. Whenever you're given a fraction, you need to make it out of 100. Okay? What did I do to the 20 to get 100? Multiply by 5. Do the same thing to the top. Multiply by 5. And you know how we do it? You know how we do it over here. We use the distributive property. So 5 times 19 is 10 plus 9. This is the 19 times 5. 5 times 10 is 50. Plus 5 times 9 is 45. That equals 95. Okay, we have 95 out of 100 is the fractional piece. Okay, which is reduced to 19 out of 20. Okay, so with that in mind, 19 out of 20 is actually equal to 95 out of 100 or 95 cents. Remember, it's always out of the 100, and that's also 95%. Is this flowing? Flow with me, people. Flow, flow, flow. 44% or 44 cents looks like 44%. And it looks like 44 out of 100, which reduces to, let's see, I see a 4 here and a 4 here, which reduces to 11 out of 25. Okay, divide out the 4, divide 4. 82% looks like 82 out of 100, which reduces to 41 out of 50. Yep. Divide top and bottom by 2, and that looks like 82 cents. 1 out of 4. Set that equal to something out of 100. What did I do to the denominator to get 100? Times by 25. 25 times 4 is 100. Times by 25. So 25 out of 100 is the fraction. And then we want to say that that is equal to 25 cents and 25%. If you need this to be reviewed again, please reverse, rewind, come back to it, because we are concluding with the next two. 12% written as a fraction is 12 out of 100. And we can reduce that to, because I see a 4 here and a 4 here, that reduces to 3 out of 25, which 12% looks like 12 cents written as a decimal. The next one, what did I do to the 25 to get 100? Because we need to have that fraction over 100. Multiply by 4. You've got the answer already, don't you? 28. Looks like 28 cents. And it looks like 28%. Writing fractions, decimals, and percents is where we are right now. Are there any questions? I apologize for the glare. I apologize for the squiggly lines, but I'm just hoping you got the flow, you got the understanding of how percents, fractions, and decimals work together. I'm telling you, it's a God-given skill, and it works beautifully together, and they all relate to money. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Be safe and get yourself ready to go back to learn more, because math matters. Bye-bye now.